Is first of all, put that away for a moment, we need to put our decals on our instrument panel. So we want a knife, and we're just going to cut it out the bit we need, which is that bit. Put that in our water and let that sit for a few seconds. I'll get our little brush. What we got here? 000. Plenty big enough. Sorry about the noise, but the wife is hoovering up and I haven't got a choice to stop and wait today, I'm afraid. So I just want to get, I need to clean these brushes up, I think. That's the one, that'll do nicely. I'm just going to pick out the detail on the cockpit walls. Ready? Okay. So we start from the middle, let it flow out. Again, on this part, just let it flow. This is a very thin mix. Although it says Tamiya on the tub, it isn't. It's actually Alclad 2 brushable, but it's really thin. So that allows me to draw the paint. It's not as thin as you get for your airbrushing. But I just want to just detail that up a little bit. Let that dry for a few seconds. This one at the top. All these little areas. To just paint in where it needs it. Right, that's fine. We have a little bit to do in our cockpit area. You see this here? Like our part of our control stick. So all we're doing is just allowing the paint to flow around, just so that it goes on like that. And we also have that piece there. This is too thin, this mix, for some reason. Mix it up a bit better, that's it. Right, and then we paint that area. I don't want it particularly painted strong, just enough so that it can be seen. That's nice. There's not much to paint in the actual cockpit of this. Most of the detail will be lost anyway, but we do what we can. Pardon me. Right, so we get our instrument panel. Get a little brush and some microset first. So all we're going to do is put our microset over it. Make sure that sucks the decal down, like so. And we'll get our decal. Is she sliding? Yeah, great. And just get her laid on first, like so. Get a cocktail stick and a cotton wool bud, and we'll just tease it into place, and then very, very gently we're just going to rust the air out of it so that it goes down nicely. This doesn't go in until a little bit later, so we'll have time to sort itself out a little bit. And then we'll come in with some Sol and literally just flood the Sol on it. I know you should only put a little of the stuff on, but if you flood it, it will actually go take it into those holes a lot quicker and better. Right, so that's okay. Right, so while that's drying, put these away again, let that dry. That's all looking good as how I want it. Very pleased with that. So like I say, we'll let that dry for a few seconds. We have got a little bit to do. Find the paint. Bear with me. There it is. So, good shake. I know I seem to be rushing this, but it's sort of got to be rushed. Like I said, I need to hopefully get the build done today, worst case scenario tomorrow. So we want our brush, and we have to get a little bit of our Cockpit green and detail that section. So that we just laying the paint over. If you get it over, don't worry, because it will fade back and you won't see it anyway. Just like so. That's that bit. Right, let that dry for a few seconds. Clean the brush. Put those away. Don't need them anymore. So while that's doing that, we'll get a nice sanding sponge and we'll sort the wheels out. So all we're doing, we've got one of Mr. Flory's sanding sponges. Quite a rough one, this one. It's not been used very much, which is a shame. I'd like to a little bit less. But all we're doing, we're getting rid of that groove. This is literally just while the paint is drying. There are other things you can excuse me, other things you can do. So we're literally just getting it all ready for the rubber to go on. And I'll probably paint that while that other paint is drying. Right, that's those two. That's all it needs. Just to take the edge off that join. Right, instrument panels doing. They're done. Looking just how I want them. We need some little bit of my special mix. A bit of dry brushing. Not too much. Excuse me. Got an old brush. That's all we're doing. Putting some of the mix on it. Don't want too much on there. And all we're going to do is just dry brush around. That's it. Just to liven it up a little bit. Make it look a bit worn inside. That's all we need there. Put that away. Oh, hello. My mate decides he wants to go out. Not a problem, let him out. Come on. There you go. Go on, Duds. He's only 12 weeks old, so he's not quite into modelling yet. Right, next job, quickly, is a homemade wash. And it's leaking for some reason. It's never done that before. This is a wash I've made quite a while ago now. Served me well. It's not too dark. It's made with Alclad Aqua Gloss. Water and some oil paint. Just to get that over. Now while we're doing it, we'll do the whole caboodle, because what that'll do, that'll settle in areas and leave a nice dirty look to it, which is what we're looking for. And we're doing all the parts, and we've sprayed up and our cockpit. I'll say I'm going a bit quick on all of this because I really would like to get this done and dusted today. Let's come out of that hole. That's back. So we'll just layer all over. Inside the wing spars, up the top, round, and doing. Wiping it so it comes, it's not too thick. That'll go nicely on the wheel spats. Right, so that is about it for a little while. We'll let that dry and we'll come back and put everything together. Right, so everything's dry and happy with the way it looks. So what we're going to do first, we're going to get our cockpit into place, make sure it fits, which it does lovely. Drop some glue in from the outside so it doesn't affect the paint on the inside, all round, making sure that all goes down, and we'll use a peg to hold it into place. And on this side will be exactly the same. So we'll get our peg, and find one. Da-da-da-dum. That'll do. So we'll get a peg, push that into exactly the right place, hold her down, like so. Let that run. Just touch and flow wherever the glue is needed. And we just need to get this bit in square and down. Not the easiest part to do. That's better. Went in. Just like so. Again, making sure that that's perfectly where we want it. Like that. I am just going to check the instructions quickly. to see how it says to do it. Right, so we'll slip that in a minute. That won't be a problem. So again, plenty of glue along the back. Ready for it all to slip into place. Peg that. It needs to be slightly pulled back, which is fine there. Get this bit in. Should looking good, which it is. And we can get our seat ready. So while that's cooking, I am just going to check the fit of this, because this has got to go together with the fuselage as such, and I can get the old instrument panel in, because this bit will literally drop over top. So I'm just looking around, making sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, right. So we can glue that together so that can be ready for us to sand down in a little while. So I need this piece as well. Take that off. Don't need that on at the moment. Right. So this bit has got to go in there and just fit in for our bulkhead. Plenty of glue into that, that can settle for a few minutes. Our instrument panel has all conformed, so all we're going to do is just pick that off nice and clean. That also can have a little bit of glue down there. That can sit in there like so as well. Then we can get our two part sides. A bit fiddly. I don't know if I like this way of doing things. It always seems a little bit odd. I know it's done for a reason. We don't really want the hassle of this. Not exactly that sits, that's it. Right, so we just hold it together there. Look underneath. Make sure it's all in, which it is. So we can then start to glue our nose. Just making sure, dropping glue in where we need it. Hold it for a few seconds. That's nice. Instrument panel's in nice. And we'll come from the tail area. Run some glue there. And of course down the back of the tail, which is nice. Hold it nice and tight, and we can run our glue down the spine of the fuselage. Give it some strength. The only thing that is good about this way of doing it is you can get to the underneath. So you can also drop a little bit of glue to to make it stronger on the inside, and then hold it together. Now you see we've got bubbles of glue there. Just get your dry brush and go over it, and that will all go down. Right, so that's gone together lovely. That can go and sit down for a little while. And what we'll do, we'll get our seat belts, because we're going to need them next. Just to have a look at the instructions for the seat belts. I've never done a hurricane. This is the first time I've ever done a hurricane of any description, let alone it being a sea hurricane. So I have no way of knowing personally how the belts go, where they sit. So what we'll do, put that out of the way, have a quick look. Okay, so we need to glue the seat to our back area. It sits quite nicely there. So some glue in. Made the bulkhead dirty because it would be in real life. Hope you can see that. I hope I ain't done that off camera, but hey ho. This is quite a fast build, so I am trying to go as quick as I can. Just drop a little bit of glue in the seat. That's come away. That's better. It's now starting to grip. Level it up nicely. So that's all in. Right, let that sit for a minute. We'll take our parts of the harness off. I always tend to use a razor blade to do this. So we'll take that there. Nicking them all off. Right, okay, that's our 3 parts for that. Now we need a glue palette. Put that there. Get our Gorilla Glue, which really does need replacing, and I completely forgot when I was out yesterday. So we've got a little bit of glue on the palette, or the tape I should say. Now how does this go together? Right, so we want this piece, excuse me, and this piece, cocktail stick, just checking on everything, bit of glue here and a little bit of glue there, checking everything as you go, and where that sits, like so. That sits on there, and using your cocktail stick, leveling it all up nicely so that it sits on. It gives a little bit of a 3D effect. The knife can go on top to hold it, just a little bit of weight. Right, we need our seat, which still hasn't glued enough. Just a bit of so and so. That's it. Again, getting our super glue, working out where these have got to go. So they seem to go from this area on this side. Get our tweezers the right way. Sorry about the time it's taken, but obviously it's not the easiest thing to do. We angle those slightly, and on the other side, and we'll let the glue dry before we bend them in. Right, and again match the angle. Right, that's those, so these should be dry now. Now looking at our way things are shaped, we'll bend these in so they go something like that. Touch of our glue, and then we can get them to lie just about how I want them. Maybe not. Just bending them slightly. That's it. Was it? Right, so we'll let that glue dry for a few minutes, and then we can bend those where we need them to go so they look right. So that'll sit there, so I'll let that be. While things are going, our cockpit tub is all glued in. So we can now come along with our wings, making sure that the areas that we need clean are clean. It's fine. Just give it a little bit of a clean up, and then we can come in and test how far out our wings are. And they go in there almost perfectly, nicely. Great. Right, so with our glue, drawing it up, let the glue suck in, line them up so that they're in there together. and the glue on the floor. Get our peg, one on there, and the next bit at the top. Let the glue do the work, so to speak. Not too happy with that at the moment. That's it. Another good couple of pegs. Peg it in, square it up, just to make sure we're happy, which we're not. Go back a bit. That's it. Still back a bit more by the looks of that. I think what we'll do is, that's got it. That's perfect there. And drop that little bit more glue there. That's nice. And on our back section we can actually run some glue into that piece. Get a peg, hold it, that'll hold it while that glue dries. Running it up again, so that's all in nice. And of course we have got our area here. I can go in, another peg, and we'll glue there. Put that there, that's fine, that's holding it all. Right, should have just about got that piece now. It has, nicely. Right, what's the other wing? Checking that just to make sure we have cleaned it up enough, which we have. Anything that needs to come away, check the fit. As you heard, it clicked in. It's always a nice sound. That looks good. Nothing we can't sort out with a sounding stick after quickly. So we'll come back down to this end again. And run our glue up. In there. Right round the outside. Peg onto there. Another couple of pegs ready. Okay, and we're up. All the way, glue down to there, so that sits in there nicely. Get a peg to hold that all into place. Line that up a little bit better. A peg in the middle of this one. Getting big now, getting heavy. Right, so we'll just drop some glue through, get that held in straight away, and run our glue all the way along and make sure it goes in where we need it. And here. It. And then I drop a glue in there to make, oh bugger, you ain't seen this. Right, that's in. Cockpit is there. Right, that can stay to dry for a few seconds. And we have our seat area with our belts on and ready to go. Maybe not. Okay. Use a bit of super glue to speed this up a little bit. Touch it on. Get it in place. Let that glue. And re-glue this again, simply because that's come loose. Hold that on there with my thumb. Just get a slight touch of super glue. Put on our middle one, so the other two are dangling free. And then we'll push that down and just hold that in. And the other one can go in there nicely. Some super glue on there and on here. And then we'll put our seat belt in there nicely. And the other one, I'll just I'll make that a bit more of a twist, just so they lay nicely. There you go. Happy with that. Our cockpit will get out, have a look, see where we're going. That's in that side. Drop a bit of glue in so it glues down. We'll drop the other side in. You heard it click. A little bit of glue there to hold up. And we'll get quite a weak peg if I've got one somewhere yet. Don't want a heavy duty job on this, just to hold the seat into place, and hopefully you'll be able to see it sit there, and we should be alright to go. Right, so I'm going to let those dry for about an hour. In the meantime, we'll start building up the air filter, nice and quickly. So this is the front one. It sits in just like that. First of all, we need to clean that edge off. So that just sits in. Drop some glue at the back of that. The rear one. I'll drop that in with the tweezers, I think. And just push her in. That's her, lovely. Him, her, whatever. Glue, just to drop it in, flow it around. That's nice. Okay, Right, so that's our air cooler sorted. What we'll do now, I'll have a break, 5 minutes, 7 or 8, and then I'll come back, clear up, excuse me, come back, and we'll be into putting her together, finally.